Howdy, y'all. You know how we roll this. Yes, I do put the music on just to sort of be entertaining while I'm typing in locations. Hey, howdy, hello. I would at least like to admit to the fact that yes, I am putting it out there on Twitter and various other platforms so that the world can maybe catch up with me. Hey, I don't know. Maybe they want to, maybe they don't. It doesn't really matter. But this is for Stumbo, James Stumbo. Because, well, let's be honest. A lot of people don't actually know who in the heck he is. They've been missing out. They've been missing out greatly. I've been missing out. I will freely admit that I've been missing out. My Tuesdays got pretty hectic the last couple of weeks, heck, for the better part of a month now. And his normally scheduled live stream, I can't get to, at least not all the time. And sometimes I can just barely get there long enough to go and hit that thumbs up button, and then I gotta run back out. I feel like I'm letting the man down, and he's such a nice guy. Which stands to reason. If you ever met somebody from West Virginia, you probably could understand. They all seem to be really nice guys. In fact, one of my favorite people, one of my idols of all time, was from West Virginia. In case y'all are unaware, that would be a now deceased, which is kind of sad, and used to be living in California, at least at the time of his passing, which again is kind of sad. But that would be General Chuck Yeager. Was from West Virginia. And from what I understand, just a really nice guy all the way around. People loved meeting this man for no problem at all. DDT, yes, I agree with you. The Stumbo family live stream is freaking cool. And if it wasn't for the fact that my own personal life gets in the way of being there for his live streams, I would be there all the time. John Adams, howdy, sir. Welcome in. So, if you're wondering, why in the heck is this guy doing a tailgate for James Stumbo? Isn't this going to be Steph's day? Steph's packing up a house. she's going to be shortly moving all of the Kane belongings back to Houston. An event which I'm extremely happy about. Now, that does mean that she's going to be leaving behind all of her friends there in El Paso, which really kind of makes me sad because there's some really awesome pipe smoking people there in the El Paso area. I'm not going to name them all. We'll just name one right off the top of my head, which would be Garbage Man Piper. Have you been following Garbage Man? If so, y'all all know the call of Sweet Chicken Baby. Well, Steph ain't going to be hearing that too much longer. She's moving back to Houston. And I feel bad for her about that. But she's got a job, which is the only reason she's moving back to Houston. And I feel great for her because of that. So, because she's doing all that, but she's having to do all of the packing and everything without Skip. Now remember, Skip's up in Alaska right now. Normally, a woman would be able to say, hey, look, let my guy do a lot of the heavy lifting and packing and all of that. Well, Steph doesn't have that. Howdy, Steph, by the way. Love you, sister. You take care. You were literally just in the hospital for some issues. So if it gets too much, you sit down, you relax, you figure out some way to get it to all center back to where it needs to be. We don't need you stressing and losing out on you because of this move. Yes, your two oldest boys still live here in the Houston, or now live here in the Houston area. It's kind of cool that it's happening, but I'm worried about you, sister, so you just take care. Badger Ash, welcome in, sir. Glad to have you on board. Oh, so anyways, yes, Steph is going to be again happening live from Houston at some point in the near future. Again, I'm ecstatic about that. That means every once in a while I can go and see Steph and Skip. Actually, we might do some Saturday live streaming, live from the Kane family farm. I know it's not a family farm. Just felt like saying it. But we will be going to visit Mr. Stumbo today. I take it on good authority that we'll be visiting with Mr. Stumbo because Steph told me so. Yes, she does have my phone number, so she does send me text messages. No, she's not supposed to hand it out to you, but I'm pretty sure she knows if you absolutely needed it and you had her phone number that she could ask me a quick question and probably get it to you. It wouldn't be that big of an issue. I'm pretty reachable. There's several of the YTPC that have my phone number for various different reasons. I know Martin does. You have to text him if you win anything, or in case you want to be able to call in on Martin's show. Well, John, I'm not going to say that it's moving back to God's country. It's more like moving back to humidity. And if she's moving back to humidity in August, which it will be, that's more like moving back to hell than it is to God's country. But at least it's green. You know you love that, Steph. You know you love that. Really, DDT? You'd rather be tailgating? That's awesome. Uh, yes, the virtual pipe club is going to be on early. They are either on right now or they're going to be on in another couple of minutes. I'm not trying to take away from them at all, but there's a lot of people that do not use Facebook. I'm one of them. That has nothing to do with my want to be there with the virtual pipe club. I mean, they seem like they're all really nice people. I've met most of them here in the YTPC through one way or the other, and it's just pretty much any time that things are going crazy, if I can tailgate for the next show, I will. And if that means that another show is jumping in there a little bit earlier than normal, I'm not trying to run over them or trample them. I'm trying to do what I personally can do. And that's, of course, getting people together so that we know, hey, look, Steph's not going to be on today, but James Stumbo is. And if you don't like James Stumbo, you probably got something wrong with you. But you're allowed to not like whoever you don't like. I can't imagine people not liking James Stumbo. It's hard not to like James. I can't imagine somebody not doing it. He gives stuff away. He only tells you to hit me up on Facebook Messenger. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to do nothing. You just hit me up. I'll send it to you. It's not a problem. It's like, James, what are you doing? Do I want like one of his mountain villages for a pipe stand? Oh yeah, definitely. Am I going to get one? No, because right now I'm in a situation where I can't readily send him something back, whether it be monetary or as a gift of friendship. And it really, it irks me that I can't do it. I can't. It drives me insane. Steph sent me a hat. Still drives me insane that I haven't sent her one back. But I've got some plans to help Steph out. Like, she's moving back to the Houston area. I already told her, hey, look, just when you get back into town, let me know, and I'll come help you unload truck and set furniture up and move stuff around or do what we need to do. I mean, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but having people there to help you move stuff around and get stuff rearranged and whatever else, I have found it to be a huge blessing, because quite normally, if you got professional movers, they come in, they drop the box in the specific room as you instructed, and then gone. They screw you over something fierce because they will put the smallest boxes right out there in front. I mean, right there where you have to get through all of the small boxes to get to the big stuff. But you got to get the big stuff open so that you can put all the small boxes on top of the big stuff as you unpack it. It's always going to be that way. And I'm willing to bet that Steph's nice enough to feed me a small sandwich. But at least I can give her the gift of some manual labor, which is an awesome gift from time to time, especially when you're moving. You don't have to believe me, but trust me, everybody who's ever done it, you're tired after you moved. And that first time you go back to breathing Houston thick air, oh, God, it makes you feel like you have to take a second breath just to catch your breath. I've been away a few times. I've always come back. It takes a few days to get that aqua lung working again. If you're not used to high humidity, trust me, Houston is not really the best place for you. Breathing your water instead of drinking it, difficult. But we would love to have all of y'all here eventually. Trust me on that one. Now, I'm smoking a cigar. Oh, nice. They're supposed to set up the furniture too. Cool. Well, if I bring a couple of folding chairs, the little stool that I'm sitting on, and well, a strong mind and a weak back, I'll be there to help as much as I can. Yeah, believe me, DDT, I understand the whole theory. When I lived on the road, I would pack all my stuff in and pack all my stuff back out. And then pack all my stuff in and then pack all my stuff back out. There's some things that I know how to do very well, and moving stuff around in a quick hurry but in a safe manner is one of those things. All your sons have very high ratings, but there's only 2 of them. Well, then of course there's the other ones that you're dragging along with you. No, actually, the company is called All My Sons, and yes, they actually do a fairly good, decent rating. It actually started a mother. She had like 5 boys that all, according to the legend that I heard, they all basically played sports of some level, and they were all big strapping guys. All but one of them. One of them was always carting all of the equipment around for the other 4. But because he was the oldest one, he was the one driving. And they came up with the idea of starting a business where mom could no longer have to work, and they could do what they were already trained to do, which was lift big heavy crap and get it to go. And they've taken real good care to hire the right people. Now, for a moving company, hiring the right people is sometimes really super difficult. But that's the story I heard, that it was basically 5 sons of one lady, and they decided they didn't want her working that hard anymore, so they put the business together and put her in charge. Oh, by the way, putting a woman in charge of a business such as that is a huge tax write-off, so very smart for them to do such. She gets a paycheck and signs checks. Awesome job. Well done, gentlemen. Now, is that story the truth? I'm not sure. But that's a story I was told, and I've got no reason to not believe it. I mean, there's three men in the truck. I've heard a whole bunch of other guys too. There's actually a lot of moving companies here in the Houston area, based out of Houston. Just no big deal. They just seem to all get decent labor, and well, Texas grows big old corn-fed type kids. Of course, so does Nebraska and Michigan. I'm telling you right now, you want to find some big old husky cornbread kids? Go check up in the Danish areas of Michigan, and go check out Nebraska. I mean, hell, they're really actually corn-fed in Iowa and Nebraska. And then get down into Texas and start looking around at the football teams. You will find some big corn-fed, full-sized individuals. And hey, why not? If that's what you're looking for, good places to look. Ah, it's good coffee. I like my coffee like I like my cup, hot and black. That's one of those old camp cups. God, I love that cup. It cools off the coffee just enough and quickly enough that you can get it down without burning the crap out of yourself. But it keeps it just hot enough for just long enough while you're jawing or gabbing or whatever. Not a problem, Badger Ash. Remember, we will be over on Stumbo's live stream here in about, let's call it 38 minutes. So if you can't get rid of them pretty quick, you're going to be catching us over there. Oh, very nice, very nice. Very cool. In case y'all are wondering what I'm saying, very nice, very cool. Patrick Grant has been showing off a certain hat that Steph made for the J Mouton auction for the Sweet Smokes benefit. Now, I gotta tell you, as an owner of a Steph hat, you definitely want to try and get one. But unfortunately, Steph's going back to work, so your chances of getting one have just been reduced. You might have to put your orders in way in advance and just be prepared to wait. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would highly suggest you do it. She's not going to be working on anything else other than getting back to Houston until September. But if you get your orders in early enough, at least you can maybe talk to her about pricing and materials that you might want to look at and various different other things. Get the process started while she maybe still can do that portion of it. That way, when she goes back to sewing stuff in September, she's already got a list of things she can work on, all of I'm not telling you her process because I don't know her process, but she can work on her process and get them done and out to y'all. And if you've already gotten the first little bit of communication out of the way, at least you got that part out of the way. You'll get it that much sooner. Not saying you're going to get it a whole lot sooner, but you're still going to get it a little bit sooner. I can, DDT, I understand that theory extremely well. Uh, there's actually some German settlements in Texas, and I'm telling you, it's like stepping into a different time and a different presence, different mindset. There's little villages that are literally like walking into some little village somewhere in Germany. You almost expect them to go, Guten Tag. Is this still Texas? Yeah, it sure is. Go figure. But one of the cool things there, you'll find great beer in those little communities. Okay. There's this place called Shiner, Texas. Shiner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, trust me. Strong German community there. They make this beer called Shiner. Shiner Bock. Of course, the locals here in Texas, we just call it Shiner. We know what we're talking about. You're either talking about a black eye or you're talking about a brown beer. Good stuff, though. Probably the largest independent brewery on the planet. I know of 8 different brewery conglomerations that have tried to buy them out. And you know what they keep saying? Not for sale. Leave us alone. We're going to do it our way. We're going to do it our way. And that's it. They live in a small town, middle of nowhere, Texas. And they make what they make, and it's comfortable. And I gotta say, hey, big salutes there to that kind of situation, because they're doing what they do for the love of doing it, not for the love of money. Speaking of doing things not for the love of money, pipe making. The independent pipe maker, the artisan that makes those pipes that you really love, Jay Mouton, Philip Rivara, Sea Smoke Pipes, Mr. Weaver, Simon over there in London. I'm fairly certain we can name a few others. Mr. Walker out there in California, he looks like he's doing some pretty good things with pipes. But what we're talking about there is the one man with some tools putting together a pipe. And each and every one of them will pipe make a little bit different because they each have a style. Hell, even me, I do a little bit with pipes. I've got my own style. It's called file and a whole lot of more file, but it's a style. They price their pipes according to the materials that go into it, the time that it takes them, the amount of money that they have to shell out just to be able to put it together. Remember, the electricity's got to be paid. You got to keep that mortgage up. If the only money you're bringing in is selling a pipe, you got to put enough money back in your pocket that the bank doesn't take everything you damn well own before you sell your next one. Yes, sir, DDT. Briar is expensive. Small block, the size of a coffee cup. Okay? Think about it. Size of a coffee cup, a small block could run you $50 to $80 just for a piece of briar that is the size of a coffee cup. It might actually cost more than that. I don't know. And for anybody that thinks, oh, it can't be that damn hard, what I would like for you to do is go buy a hobby block. I'll tell you where to buy it. You can get a hobby block at smokingpipes.com. Reasonably priced, shipped to your door. Go get that. Go get that hobby block, which is going to have flaws that the artisan pipe makers cannot accept. You're going to spend somewhere between $25 to $45, not including shipping. Okay, but you take that hobby block. Now you've got a hobby block. Great. Now do what I did. Go buy some files. Sure, you can get the files you need for about $20 at one of those cheap as hell tool stores. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money on those files. Remember, these are files. These are not used for a lathe. They are used to file that damn wood down to the shape you want it to be in. And then go draw out your shape and file the hell out of that damn chunk of wood. Because briar is hard, trust me. You don't want to try it with a knife. I did that already for you. You don't want to follow my footsteps. But file that chunk of wood into the shape of a pipe that you think is perfect for you. I am willing to bet that your first one will suck. Unless you're some sort of savant with a file and some damn sandpaper. Your first one is not going to be as pretty as you think it is. Yeah, but DDT, angle grinder, and some 60 grit, that's a whole nother expense. We're not trying to make it expensive. We're just talking about a hobby block and a set of files. Remember, $35 for the hobby block, $10 for the files. You're already out $45. Uh-oh. All right, y'all watch what Briar Report just said there. That could be very important. By the way, welcome, Phil. Glad to have you in. Actually, I knew he was here earlier. He texted me a message saying, hey, I'm watching, but I'm lurking. But I like the fact that he sits there and lurks, and then he reminds me that he's there by giving good information. I'm hoping I'm still considered an amateur at the time of whenever next year's Pipe Week actually happens, so that I can maybe still be considered an amateur, and I might get somewhere with being an amateur. I mean, sure, go out and get the angle grinder and the 60 grit. Now you're out $100 for an angle grinder, a decent angle grinder that's not going to break on you the first 20 times you use it, and about $45 for 60 grit wheels. Yeah, that's going to add up. Oh, but let's talk about sandpaper, because you're going to want to use sandpaper. No big deal. So far, I've bought 3 different packages of sandpaper. It's run me about 20 bucks. So for one pipe, I'm out $70 already. Now let's talk about leather dye, so that you can dye that pipe whatever colors you want it to be. Well, it's $5 a bottle. Now these are Houston prices, and might be much higher in your area. Okay, I'm out $85 already for the first pipe I ever made. Okay, now let's look at, you got to put a wax coat on that. Still haven't gotten it, because I only want to spend about $5 on a decent wax bar. I'm out $100 already. Haven't even gotten the buffing wheel yet. Be ready, because that buffing wheel is going to be expensive. You're going to be at $200 before you ever make a decent hobby block into an actual pipe and think that it's actually worthy of sending it to somebody and thinking that they're going to truly enjoy it, instead of looking at it and going, what in the hell is this crap? So if an artisan wants to charge you for buying a better block than your hobby block and putting better materials than what you got in your hobby block, he wants to charge you $200, $300, $400, you're going to pay those prices, damn it. And the reason why is because he's already shelled out the cash and the knowledge and all the trial and error. And if that block that he starts with has a fatal flaw in it, he's not packing it full of some sort of mixture of sawdust and glue. He's throwing it over in a pile to burn. Those unbelievable sand pits and fissures that are sometimes in the wood that you have no control over, he eats those costs, he or she. So there's a lot that goes into making a briar chunk become a beautiful pipe. I say this because people are talking shit about Jay Mouton and his pricing. Remember, I said you're already out over $200 just to turn a hobby block into a decent pipe. Now start adding whale spine or mammoth tooth or various other different things for accents that really make the pipe super marvelous. And I'm willing to bet that you're up at $300 before you ever even get close to turning that into something that's worthy. Then go look at the price of all the bits that it takes just to make a stem. Holy crap. Or the bits that it takes to drill a bowl. Legit. Oh my God. Some of the prices of these things. 3 bits for over $150. It's crazy. While I might think about being a pipe maker, the only person I've made a pipe for so far is me. And I will tell you, I'm pretty proud of the work that I've done, but I wouldn't sell any of them because they're crap compared to what you can get for a price that's actually reasonable from some of these artisan makers. By the way, enough of that rant, but bowl call. In case y'all haven't been seeing me smoke this one before, it is a Punch Champion EMS, which EMS is their Maduro. It is a 4.5 inches long, and at the widest point, which is about where I'm at right now, 60 ring gauge. It is basically a Solomon shape. Solomon shape means that it starts small, tapers up, and then ends small. Excellent type of a cigar. If you like a Lancero, it gives you those flavors like a Lancero. But if you really, really need a bigger bodied smoke, well, it has that portion too. They actually burn surprisingly slow. Ooh, luxury Navy Flake. What, no coins today, Phil? So surprised at you. Well, just remember, everybody is entitled to their opinion, and let's not be super mad about somebody's opinion. If they don't understand you're joking, or if they don't understand that you're just talking about somebody who is faking and therefore should be called out for being a fake, well, then just give them the benefit of the doubt that they might have misheard, misunderread, or misunderstood your intentions. Because let's remind ourselves, we're here enjoying one of the greatest communities on the planet. Y'all are more fun than when I was in the Army, and I'm not getting shot at. That's a bonus. And y'all are definitely more fun than hanging out in a bar listening to somebody try to talk politics. Don't worry, I will talk politics if y'all really, really want me to, but most people don't want me to, and some of those people don't want me to because they don't agree with what I've got to say, and that's okay. I don't mind people disagreeing with me. I don't mind when people are wrong. It's fine. I'm not always right. But yeah, I don't mind when people disagree with me. And on politics, religion, those are the two things that, people probably should just leave alone and not talk about. course, there's a lot of people that misunderstand my point. So I'm going to talk a little bit about politics for a second. My politicians are like diapers. Most of them are full of shit, and they need to be changed often. What I mean is, if they won't vote themselves into term limits, start voting them out anyways. If that means you have to vote for someone you don't like, you gotta do it. Unfortunately, sometimes that means you gotta vote for that same person that's already in there because you just absolutely have to say no to voting for certain people. Any politician that wants open borders or for the Second Amendment to be eroded by their own little personal agenda, I'm voting against you. I don't care if you're a Republican, Libertarian, Democrat, does not matter. You want open borders or to take away my Second Amendment rights, you're done. I can't vote for you. There's a bunch of other issues out there that maybe you should fix first. But yeah, that's the easiest way to make sure you can never get my vote is say, I want open borders or we're going to take your guns away. Utter either one of those phrases. Unless you're saying, that candidate's out there saying, we're going to take your guns away, but you better have proof. Because I'm not one of those stupid voters that just says, hey, I'm going to vote for someone because of the color of my skin. I've been told I was a racist for saying such things. But wait a second. Voting for someone for the color of their skins is just as smart as voting for somebody because their name happens to be the same as your name. Y'all remember my name is Donald. I was told I was a racist because I didn't vote for Hillary. She was up against Donald Trump. There was a choice of an old white man and an old white woman. And I couldn't vote for Hillary because one of those earlier previous statements of, we're coming for your guns. So no. Now, if anybody thinks I'm a misogynist because, I voted for Donald. No, I voted for Donald because I couldn't vote for Hillary. But let's look at me being a misogynist. I believe that every woman in the United States who is at least 20 years old should have a firearm. Every single one of them. You want to take rape away from this planet? Put a damn gun in every woman's hand. Make sure they know how to use it, know how to clean it, know how to actually, truly use it for its intended purpose as a force multiplier, because 90% of them are not as big as the guy that's going to come in and try to rape them. But you put a couple of freaking holes in the damn rapist, he starts losing all track of whether he wants to try and put his stuff in her holes. That thought goes away. His first thought is, I gotta get the fuck out of here. If he even has another thought. good grouping and target placement is key and vital. But I guarantee, 2 to the heart and 1 to the head, they stop trying to rape you. Could completely eliminate rape. It would take days. And sooner or later, somebody's going to be stupid and think that they can get away with it. They're going to lose sooner or later. The odds are against them. How's that for misogyny? That's so very unmisogynistic, right? I would want every woman on the planet to be able to defend themselves against any and every guy. Without having to think about it, they can just, boom, done. Because I love women. And then, another thing about firearms, and just because I'm on the subject, I'm going to go ahead and finish the thought. When Houston said, we're going to go with concealed carry. Now, it was before the state allowed concealed carry. Houston decided we would go with concealed carry. Got to file for licensing and registration and all this other stuff. There's a lot that goes into it. Soon as concealed carry became a thing in Houston, crime took a dive. Why? Because anybody could be packing. And then they went with open carry, and crime again said, and now the state of Texas has finally gone to constitutional carry. Hey, yeah, you still got to jump through a few hoops, but it's there. You can do it. Good old Texas music, right? Just perfect timing for someone to decide they got to mow the lawn. Not my fault. I apologize. But don't worry, we're about 15 minutes out. Hopefully the lawnmowers are not too damn annoying. Again, I apologize. Not my fault. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, DDT, definitely true there. Yo, looking for Stumbo now. Bringing Stumbo to the top. There we go. There's Stumbo. Now. So, yes, I smoke outside, and I can't control what other people do. Hey, I get mine done on Friday before I go on. One of these days, I'm afraid my guy's going to show up during the middle of my live feed, which is going to kindly piss me off, but I'll deal with it. Of course, he'll only be here for like 30 minutes total. And yes, I do it myself, but he's faster, better, and cheaper than I can do it. Let him. I know what my time is worth. And let's just say y'all are lucky I don't price my pipes according to my time. Otherwise, y'all can't afford my shit. That's a $3,000 pipe right there. Why? Because it took me fucking forever to file that sumbitch down into the shape of a pipe. Just saying. All right, enough ranting and raving and everything else. Is there anything anybody needs talked about, discussed, talked about with disgust? Whatever. This is tailgating. Come on, y'all gotta have something that y'all are wanting to talk about. Anything. Because like I told my wife, I don't read minds. Okay, I normally tell her that in the kitchen. When she walks directly at me and doesn't tell me which way she's going, and I'm standing in her way, and if I move, I'm going to be in her way anyways. So I just stand there and wait. And normally she gets right up to me and she's like, move. And I'm like, which direction? Just tell me what you're thinking. I don't read minds. Well, Ganji, it's probably because somebody showed them a level and they can get it to be flat. And in their small section, they see that there is a certain level, flat spacing to the earth. What they don't seem to realize is that if they go far enough out, that bubble is way up here on basically the top of the sphere, and that the farther they go apart, the higher the column of water that they would have to hold up just to prove that the world is flat. I believe if you hold a column of water in a clear tube with both ends open, and that tube is more than 18 miles apart, you will find that you are not tall enough to hold up the tube high enough to keep from the water coming out the end. The problem is most people are not going to go get 18 miles worth of hose, and they don't have 18 miles worth of any kind of a flat plane where they can actually sit there and even attempt this. The easiest place to do such thing would be at the beach. Because as you go 18 miles along the beach, you know you are at sea level. And like I said, you just have to stretch the hose out 18 miles and make sure that the water stays in the hose, because you know that it will be level wherever it is over there and way over here. By the time you get 18 miles apart, you will have to hold that hose way the hell up just to keep it from sloshing out. It's a cheap, easy way that, you know, they're never going to go and do. They seem to not understand that there's the easiest way to prove it. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that's right. The other thing about flat Earth is, and for anybody that has a cat, they already know this. The fact that there's anything left on Earth is proof that the Earth is not flat, because cats would knock everything off already. It would already be gone. Everything would be gone. You don't believe me? Put something you want to keep nice and pristine on a countertop and let loose a cat. Guaranteed it will find the floor. By the way, howdy Dave, howdy Patch, also known as Mike. You're one of the many Mikes, but don't worry, we still love you just the same. So yes, we are expecting some Stumbo sightings here in the next 7 minutes or so. It'll be good to catch up with James for a little bit while I finish this, until my wife wakes up. And then I'll have to go. Well, hey, looky there. Somebody got themselves a good quick crew of lawn mowing people. They actually finished that crap up and got the hell out of here. Amazing. I'm normally used to having to put up with it for an hour and a half, maybe 2. Steph, Mike would like to know how packing is going. Steph has mentioned that she's packing and listening, so I'm just trying to make sure that your question got to her. I'm not trying to be nosy or push the issue there, Mike. Just trying to be helpful. Oh, I have done a lot of tailgating this week. This makes a 4th show. One was 2 hours long last night, where I filled in for Martin because his computer, well, if you don't know, it's a Dell. Yeah, I think that explains what Martin's issue is extremely well. It's a Dell. We're not talking about the woman who sings. We're talking about the computer company that used to be a damn fine place, and then I don't know what in the hell happened. They decided to screw it all to hell and back, and well, that's where we're at now with Dell. Thanks for making us miss one of our favorite Friday shows, Dell. Alienware gaming laptop that can't stay right longer than hell. I got flip phones that have more capacity than that damn computer for whatever reason. And it's supposed to be for gaming, so it should be able to handle a damn YouTube channel like nobody's business, but it doesn't. yeah, I think I really think that Martin should just go ahead and pay out for someone to put him together a custom system. And he doesn't need one of those super high tech ones with the water cooling or liquid cooling or whatever it is. He could probably do just fine with an air cooled one set up in the right place. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, trying to use that gaming laptop, it's just not working for him. And you would think, hey, you know, these games, they take megabytes. They take all kind of power to run. A gaming laptop should be able to handle a simple little YouTube show, right? Nah. Not happening. Oh yeah, Morgan, not just throw it against the lawn, but then take the fire axe and hit it until it's buried. But it's supposed to be under warranty. Funny how much time Dell has spent traveling back and forth to Martin's location just to try and correct their fuck up. Excuse my language, but that's the only way I could describe it. There is no way I could say anything good about that. Hey, I just got notification that there is a thumbnail up for James Stumbo. It's going to look like this. Steph, look quick, because there's Skip with no beard. In his NOLA shirt. So just in case anybody's wanting to run over there right now, I'm not trying to keep y'all entrapped here at the House of Hughes. It's not going to happen. But yes. See, now Mike, you got one of those high-tech setups, and when I worked for a certain insurance company, they had me a setup with a laptop that I could literally put on the dock, even closed, and it would light up 2 monitors, and if I flipped it up, it would be like 3 monitors, depending upon what all I was having to do. Hey, and I just wonderful Useless Tube finally actually got me the message that James Stumbo is about to be live. And he's live. Okay, we're going over there. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure having you here today. I am so happy that you could attend. Glad that I could get the word out that James is subbing for Steph. And look, let's go over there, have a good time. Thank y'all for being here. Remember, take care of yourselves. That's very important. Take care of each other. Do the best you can on that. Howdy, Sharon. Hey, we are going to James Stumbo's live stream here in, well, we're doing it now. And, of course, as always, I would like to remind y'all, long lives, big bowls, and long ashes. Y'all take care, and I will see you right over there in James's live stream here in just a minute. Talk to you soon. Bye now.